Love is the sweetest song, but when broken, it cuts deeper than a blade. This is the story of Ella, Peter, and Amarachi. They were young, and their love was pure. Ella and Peter walked under the stars of their quiet village, hands clasped, dreams woven together like threads of destiny. She believed in him, and he believed in her. No wealth, no fortune, only the promise of a life built on love. Peter looked at her one night and said, "Ella, I may not have riches, but I'll build you a house. A house filled with laughter, and filled with love." And Ella smiled, her eyes glowing like the moon, and she whispered, "I don't need riches, Peter. You are my treasure." They spent their days dreaming aloud. They planned a life together, a small home with a garden, children running barefoot across the grass, evenings spent under the gentle glow of lanterns, sharing stories of the future. Every promise Peter made, Ella treasured. Every dream she shared, he believed in. But destiny has a cruel way of testing hearts. One day, temptation drove into the village in the form of Amarachi. A city girl, wrapped in gold, glitter, and perfume. Her heels clicked like thunder, her dress shimmered like fire. And every man turned their head. But one man, Peter, never looked away. Ella first noticed it in the marketplace. Peter's eyes lingered, just for a moment, on Amarachi's dazzling smile. She wanted to tell herself it was nothing. But that moment planted a seed of unease in her heart. And that seed grew quietly, until it became a storm. That night, Ella confronted Peter. She held him at the doorway of their home, her tears falling onto his hand. "Peter," she begged, "don't go. Don't leave me for her. My love is real. Don't trade it for shadows." Peter pulled away. "Ella, you don't understand. Amarachi can give me a better life. I'm tired of being poor." Ella fell to her knees, her voice trembling like broken glass. "Peter, love is the only wealth that lasts." But Peter's footsteps grew distant, as he walked away into a glittering lie. The village felt empty after Peter left. Even the wind seemed to mourn. Ella wandered through the familiar streets, her heart heavy, memories of laughter and whispered promises haunting her. Every corner reminded her of a love that once felt eternal, now lost. In the city, Peter discovered quickly that Amarachi's world was not as golden as it seemed. He became a servant in her palace, sweeping her floors, washing her dishes, ironing her clothes. She, who promised him heaven, chained him to humiliation. And while he worked like a slave, Amarachi laughed. She laughed with her friends, she laughed with strange men she brought home. And when Peter dared to ask, dared to question her heart, Amarachi's laughter cut him deeper than any sword. "Oh Peter, what were you thinking?" she mocked. "Did you really believe I would settle for a lowlife like you? You are nothing. Nothing but my servant." Days blurred into weeks. Weeks into months. Peter's spirit, once bright with dreams, dimmed under the weight of constant ridicule and servitude. He began to wonder if wealth alone could ever bring happiness. Then came the night that shattered what little pride he had left. He returned from the market, carrying heavy bags filled with food, carefully prepared for Amarachi. But when he opened the door, he froze. Amarachi, in the arms of another man. Their lips locked, their laughter filling the air. His world shattered in an instant. Peter roared like a wounded lion. "Amarachi, how dare you? In my presence." He tried to stand as the man of the house, but Amarachi's lover struck him down, fists crashing into his face. And as he bled on the floor, Amarachi stood tall, and clapped her hands. "Police!" she screamed. "Take this fool away." In a dark, cold cell, Peter wept. His pride, his dignity, his love, all broken. He counted the cracks in the walls, the rust on the bars, the dripping water echoing like his own heartbeat. 2 weeks later, he fell to his knees at Amarachi's feet. His voice cracked with desperation. "Please, Amarachi, forgive me. I've learnt my lesson. I'll never question you again. Just, please, let me out." She smiled. That smile, cruel, heartless. "You're free, Peter. But not with me. Get out of my sight." He stumbled into the street. No home, no love, no hope. The glitter he chased had turned to dust. The city that once promised dreams now seemed endless and empty, its lights cold and indifferent. So he returned to the only place he once called home. To Ella. To the love he abandoned. But when he arrived, her house was empty. She was gone. Ella had found love again. Not with Peter, but with a man who valued her heart. A man who cherished her soul. She lived in the city now, but not in chains. In joy. She ran her own boutique, her laughter filled a bright home, and her husband adored her. Together, they raised children in a house built on love, not betrayal. Peter watched from the shadows. His face stained with regret, his heart torn with sorrow. He whispered to himself, "That should have been me. That life, that love, should have been mine." He walked past her home, seeing her joy from afar. Children's laughter floated into the street, warm light spilling from windows. Peter felt a hollow ache that no wealth or status could ever fill. But some lessons come too late. He traded gold for dust. He lost the soulmate who once gave him everything. And in the silence of his broken heart, Peter learned the price of broken love. The stars shone over the village, just as they had years ago. And somewhere, far from the glitter of the city, Ella and Peter's paths had diverged, forever. And in the quiet of that night, one truth remained: love, once broken, leaves a shadow that no fortune can erase.